Howdy, folks. Thank you for joining me. Let me turn this back on at least. I believe that's just the crackling of the fire, which is nice. Whew. It's another week. It's another Monday. I hope you had a good week. I hope you achieved something that you set out to achieve, or at least set a goal to achieve. Every little step counts. Don't let people shit talk you because you're not making leaps and bounds. Make them baby steps, baby. Do what you got to do to keep moving forward. That's the important thing. Let's see. My week. Honestly, sometimes I forget a whole week, but this week hasn't been bad. I played a lot of Tailspire 2. A lot of that's been my shit. Not Tailspire, fuck. Slay the Spire 2. I've been playing the shit out of that. Went to the plays, like a playground with the kids. We done all the things. We really parented it up this week, and I feel good about that. My body does not, because as I'll get into down the line, I'm sure I live with chronic illness and chronic pain, and that keeps me mentally occupied in a lot of spaces. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about that great thing that we're all kind of pushed to feel, to have, to act upon. Passion. It's a big word in and of itself. Passion. It carries the weight of so much emotion, determination, resiliency, infatuation, desire. It is. Damn it, don't throw me off, Red. Some bitch. But it carries with it this almost noble aspect to it. That passion is this noble thing, and I, for one, I buy that hook, line, and sinker. I don't want to say bought as if it's past tense. I believe that passion is the key. True, actual passion for something is the key to great happiness. Finding something that you have passion for means that you don't need any validation of that thing outside of that thing. You know, I don't know how else to put that. Like, a great craftsman doesn't need validation outside of the thing that he has created. A true master artist works and creates because the block of wood, the block of stone, the clay, the canvas, the whatever, it pulls them to a place where they have no choice. That kind of dedication and passion is probably one of the, and this is just then we get a little religious, one of the truest aspects of God's love that we could ever hope to achieve. And I genuinely do believe that, because when true passion is a thing that drives and a thing that heals simultaneously, you are able to do things you would have never thought possible, even probable. But with passion, you push through and you find that space. And that's what I want to talk about today, because I feel like, for all the good things that I just said, there's this glaring downside that it's fleeting. Passion can be, and I argue should be, a fleeting thing. If you somehow find the ability to lasso that harness, that passion repeatedly into what you're doing, and you can really hold on to that feeling or summon it when you need it and let it go and breathe and be what it is, I envy you. I envy you entirely, because I don't have that ability. I don't have the ability to just summon passion for something other than, I think, my wife and kids, because I have never-ending passion for helping my kids that never needs to be summoned, and for my wife that often needs to be cooled down. So, but we're not talking about that right now in this particular. We're talking, I don't want to say vocational, because that gives the wrong fucking impression. But we're talking about passion, and I don't want to say the abstract either, because it's also so specific and so nuanced. We're just like, that's the thing about it. And I've already told you all the good things, but passion will drive you to places that are intensely horrible, drive you to forget yourself in these passions, drive you to forget the things you love, you genuinely love, because of passion, which, as I've stated before, is this fleeting mercurial thing that, again, pushes or pulls us into whatever space that we are passionate about and locks us there. I know I have artist friends. I don't want to like spit names here, but I used to live with an artist we'll just call Nixon, and watching him paint on his days off is genuinely something I don't think he understands the effect it had on me going forward from there. Like, because he, honestly, he's one of the greatest artists. He's so intensely human, and his work takes so much out of him. And that was the part that, like, I didn't. Yeah. Honestly, I'm getting to that part, buddy. I'm getting to that part, because that's, passion is fleeting, man. You can be passionate about, we'll say, a video game for right now. You know what I mean? Or I'll just speak for myself just to address it. Sometimes I'm an avid video game person. I love gaming. I don't want to call myself a gamer, even though I am, because it comes with a real ugly mentality, but I am a gaming enthusiast. And there are times when I'll just sit there, look at a blank TV and like 4 different fucking systems and a computer and be like, I don't even want to fucking do nothing. And I'll just sink inwards, and whatever passion that usually pulls me into a game or into a project or something like that, just it isn't there. I can't find it. I can't summon it. And that's the thing about passion, buddy, is that I'm going to call myself, and I'm going to put us together in the same package. I hope that's okay. But us regular folk, it is hard to just lasso that bitch when you need it, when you want it, when you got to have it. Like, it's, and I'll tell you, as I get older, it's harder and harder to find. I'm looking for fucking my passion, like a John Travolta meme, just showing up everywhere. Like, is this it? Like, even like one of the few things, as long as, understand this is a weird sentence, but as long as I've been a free person, Pokemon has been my safety zone. I know a lot of people ain't gonna understand that. I'll get into freedom in another topic, but as long as I've been a free person, I've had Pokemon as an escape, as a place where I can go and be like, it didn't matter what I had to do in real life to survive. It didn't matter the horrible things I had to do or witness or like pretend I didn't know about. It didn't matter. I was playing with my monsters in my little corner with my little stolen batteries, or like freezer batteries. Like, when people think batteries die real quick, but you just got to wrap them bitch up in a little tinfoil, throw them in the freezer for about 5 minutes, or some snow. Woo, wintertime was good for that. But I digress. Sorry. And Pokemon was that thing that I became passionate about. I used to have a little journal where I wrote them down in. I used to write all the names. Yeah, Hansel, he remembers. I did that 24-hour Pokemon stream. It ended up being like 30 something, 32, 36 or some shit, but I was fucking loopy after that. But yeah, I still do have a passion for Pokemon. Like, understand, right now I'm working on a TTRPG project that's been a passion of mine for years that I just haven't been able to put together. And now that I have the chance, I'm taking it. You understand? Like, I still love the things I love, but to sit down and play a Pokemon game anymore, I'm I'm too old. I'm speaking specifically about Pokemon that is always catered to the age I was when I fell in love with it. You know what I mean? Like 11, 12. It's always catered for that age. So, of course, I loved it when I came out and don't like it so much now. I'm not a fucking 12-year-old. You know what I mean? So, a lot of these people are like, well, this game, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, it's not fucking all for you. If you still enjoy it, you can still have fun. Fucking enjoy it and have fun. But, like, that that's another thing about passion. Passion makes people fucking ugly. All right, when passion and anger become interchangeable, people lose sight of what passion really is, and that's one of the things that I also wanted to bring up. That passion is can make you an incurable fuckwit, like guilty of the incurable condition of being a little bitch, because you you can treat people worse than you've ever treated without thinking about it. Just absolutely dismissive because you're zoned in. Passion cannot make you. I don't want to say make as if we don't have any choice in this. But I consider the only art I consider to have the only the only skill I consider myself to have, and I'm not good at it. It's just something that I have a passionate about. That is a skill. Is writing. I fucking love to write. I've written since I was a little kid. I'm gonna do a confession right now. I do pretend Naruto ninja writing. I've done it since I was a kid. It is one of my dirtiest secrets that like 6 of my friends know about. Like real fucking talk. I've done it since shit red. How old were we? Like way young. I'm talking. We done this for a decade, two decades. It's 23. I don't even want to think about it. I've been doing this too long, with nothing to show for it. You understand? But a passion that I have drives me to do this thing repeatedly, so many fucking times, and I always get angry. I always get like emotionally invested and fucked, and there's rarely a positive outcome. Like I'll just like nothing has ever lasted. Nobody speaks about it. Like I talk about it with the 6 people that know. I talk about it with them on occasion if it comes up. But like other than that, it's my dirty little secret. Uh, it's but when I write, I zone the fuck in, or what is it? Lock in and zone out. I think that's what I was trying to. But I do both. I get to this space where I can just do the thing, and I get to love the thing I'm doing because I genuinely love it. Even when I used to write by hand, now I use a keyboard for like when my hands want to actually function like hands. but writing is this thing I do that I love and that I'm passionate about. But because of the life that I have, where I had to go do, we'll say extra legal. I don't want to say illegal. That sounds bad. We'll just say extra legal activities in order to just continue living, to make the money I needed for my rent and food and things like that. And that's when I was able to actually do it and not just like a fucking couch surfing piece of shit. Like, I don't want to make myself out to something I wasn't. And the truth is, one of the reasons I was a couch surfing piece of shit is because I lacked passion. I'll tell you that now. With having to hide the things that I was passionate about because people didn't understand or I was made fun of, like Pokemon wasn't cool. I mean, it was cool for our age group, but like it wasn't cool yet. You know what I mean? And I always wanted to be like untouchably cool. You know what I mean? and because you needed to be where the way I grew up. And so learning that the things I'm not learning, but using repeatedly hiding the things that I'm passionate about has led me to essentially hide all of my passions, except for, again, for my kids and wife, which I've had to take therapy to do. Like, me and my wife have had real fucking issues because I'm not an outwardly emotional person. I'm not I used to be, sorry. I used to be just angry. All umbrella emotion. Anger was my umbrella emotion. All I really got was anger and stoicism. And like self-deprecating humor, deflection, like nothing mattered. Nothing was real. And if you want to have a real relationship, you got to be a real fucking person. So I've gone through a lot of therapy to be not only demonstrably affectionate with my wife, but to make sure my kids don't feel like I ever wonder if like they're loved or appreciated. I tell them all the time. I try to like let them know like every night, like, how much does Papa love you? Infinity. It's my fucking favorite. It's my favorite thing in the world. They ain't got a lot of words. Killian's doing a lot better. O'Connor is still he's getting better, but at night when how much does Papa love you? And they both say infinity. Boy, that's when I know I'm doing it right. That is because that's what real passion is. Real passion is I will change to do this thing better. Like, yeah, oh yeah, Crash Out Valen was a fucking menace. Like, I'm 6'1", I was like 250 at the time. Like, and not to toot my own horn, but I've always had an interest in combat sports and boxing and Power Rangers. So I had to put that in there. In having kids, that's what I understood. That's when I really started to understand passion. I'll say that. Because you think you understand passion before you have, or I'll speak for myself. I don't want to speak for everybody else because people can actually feel their emotions, unlike me. But when my kids were born, that's when I had a flood of emotions, a flood of things, and I really learned what true passion is. Passion is the dedication to change your core being to be better at this thing. Everything I've pretty much explained now has been the infatuation part of passion, that part that drives us to it, that sticks to us, that we can't get out of our mind. That's the infatuation drive that comes with passion. But the dedication, the sacrifice part, that's when I don't want to say give up little pieces of yourself, but not every piece of ourselves is the best piece of ourselves. Let's just fucking be honest. Nobody's born with all the best pieces, and I've got less than most. So one of the things you'll do if you're passionate about something is get rid of those little bad pieces that keep you from being the best at whatever it is you want to do. For me, and I'm talking when I was even in my drunkest blackout bullshit drug fucking Frank from Shameless level bullshit, the one thing I always fucking said is I want to be a good dad. And I know it sounds bad coming out of the face of someone who just threw up in a gutter. But I meant that shit with every piece of whatever parts of my soul were left. And the second my kids were born, activated. I wasn't perfect, but the switch to just get rid of as much of that nasty shit that I was holding on to for protection from my own bullshit. That's what passion is. Passion will drive you to change the things that need to be changed about your core fucking being to be better at. And for me, it just happened to be parenting. And that's a never-ending journey that you get to do your entire kid's life. And a lot of people think parenting ends at 18. I say, what the fuck did you have kids for? You have kids for the entirety of their life, not just until society tells you it's okay to stop. Like, the fuck is wrong with you? that's a different. That's a family episode that we'll talk about later, which is just weird because I don't. But what was that? Passion. Sorry, I crashed out a little bit on that one. Crash out, man. What's that say? Has the conquerors in the chamber. No, I was a scared person back then, so I just reacted with violence and anger. That's all that is. I don't. There's nothing to brag about. Like, oh, crash out. Most crash outs are scared. Scared that people will think less of them, scared of what other people might think, scared of basically just scared of so many things that they have no choice but to be violent. Because that's the only thing that they've been taught that matters. And yeah, that fucking fits me to a T. But losing passion isn't going back to the ephemeral nature of passion, the ebb and flow of it, the open window of creativity that passion is, that lets birds fly in or dust or hay, whatever the fuck the wind brings in, you know what I mean? And it's hard to want to close that window when sometimes it also brings gold and a chicken that lays eggs and, you know, holy shit, is that a cow? Well, we got a cow now, thanks wind. I think I lost the plot for a second. Yeah, I lost the plot on that. I want to start over. Passion isn't a bad thing. Passion isn't a good thing. I think it is just simply a state of being where you are truly aligned with something that is truly aligned with you. And to give an example of that, Michael Jordan playing basketball, Da Vinci's Sistine Chapel, Celine Dion singing, Aretha Franklin singing. You know, I could do the singing thing forever. But somebody who is doing something that they are passionate about, that they were meant to do, that resonates with them, is one of the true joys to behold. It's one of the reasons I like the opera and plays and stuff, because a lot of time it's just people doing it for the love of the game. Like they know they're not going to be the next fucking Hugh Jackman, you know what I mean? But they love acting and they love doing plays and they love doing all of this, and that's the important part. They love doing what they're doing, and that's why live entertainment should never go away, but why it should be encouraged more than it is. I think passion has been... Oh, that's where I wanted to go. Thank you. Passion has been turned into a commodity so much that it's unrecognizable. People hate what they're doing, but do it day in and day out, and say they do it because it's passion when they're doing it because for the dopamine, for the money, for the engagement, for the feeling of mattering. You know what I mean? Like, that's why people do so much of what they do now. And passion has been bastardized into overworking and killing yourself for this thing in order to get it done. And while, again, that is a part of passion, it's not the way that it's been so disgustingly weaponized. Is like, how do I put it? A factory worker working 80 hours a week, or we'll say 60 hours already, will get offered 20 more hours overtime, and if they're like, I can't do it, oh, you're not passionate about your family, you're not passionate about this job, and they'll use that to do that. Like, it's been used to manipulate as long as it's existed. Like, I don't want to act like it hasn't been, but it's so much worse now than it has been. Yeah, I'll say it's so much worse, but it's also just so much more visible. Like, you can see it in so many YouTube things. Like, people don't love the thing they talk about. They talk about the thing that gets them the most engagement. Like a lot of people do a shotgun approach. They'll talk about 6 different things, and then the one thing that takes off is the one thing that they'll stick with. And then they'll fucking latch on, and that will be them, Johnny, this guy, for the rest of whatever, because that's what fed that dopamine. That's what gives them those numbers. That's what pays them, like, their fucking ability to feed themselves. I'm not trying to knock it. Like, do the thing, boo-boo, get that shit. But don't mistake it for passion, because then you're missing out on something that you're actually passionate about. And you have to search, like, because it's not something that you can just go, oh, I want like a passion. Oh, look at the passion. At all. Like, I don't know why I went European with that. But I did. It's not for, like I said, I can't fucking do that. I wish I could. I'd be writing more. I'd be writing a book, but I need the interaction with others to fuel my writing. And I can't do that by myself, because I can't harness the passion that I have for writing in a meaningful way. And I reject the concept of, well, just do it. Just do it and see what happens. Sorry, I don't want to say I reject that. My heart rejects it, and it makes the rest of me be like, nah. When honestly, I should. I gotta be honest, like, introspective about that. I should. You just do the thing. If I love it, I should just fucking do it. I really fucking should. And try not to be beholden to these other assholes that write. Yeah, passion has been co-opted into overworked monetization. Like, hustle culture has... Da Vinci didn't create because, like, he was paid. He was paid because he created. Like, one begot the other. He was a genius before he was known for it. And he proved his genius and then was paid for it. Like, his passion was inventing, creating new things, learning new stuff, implementing whatever his brain came up with. That's what he did. And eventually, in that time, I want to say the Medicis were just bankrolling. Now, do your fucking thing. Just go. Fucking live life. But A, never talk shit about us, because, and 2, don't do anything that's like a direct affront to God. We're trying to get a pope in the family. So, but no, and even then, now the Sistine Chapel, his magnum opus, the greatest thing he ever did, and one of the greatest works to ever be done, in fairness to art. It existed because he was passionate about it, and he could just fucking do it. He had the backing of a powerful family, and he was able to follow wherever passion went. Like, I think this is a really good way of speaking about it, using Da Vinci, because he was paid to not to harness his passion, but to follow it wherever the fuck it went, however it manifested. Just feel that feeling and do that thing. And he would just walk into places, be like, I'm with the Medicis, and grab some shit and go create a helicopter, you know what I mean? And he could just walk in and be like, I'm with the Medicis, and then point to a ceiling and be like, I'm gonna do that ceiling. And they're like, all right. And or that fresco, or whatever the fuck he wanted to do. He had the backing of the most powerful family with all the money, and he was allowed to do it. And look what it did for society. in that time is known as the Great Renaissance, one of the golden eras of humanity, because it wasn't just him. He's just like the biggest name that I can think of, because people like him or like-minded people did what the Medicis did. They paid people to invent, to create, to. It's not unlike Edison, but more. You know what? No, it's not unlike Edison, except for Edison was more about taking credit and monetizing passion than the Medicis were, in the interest of fairness. Like the Medicis had a long view of history, so they were like, we're just gonna this guy's gonna be something we're tagging our name on. We're gonna pay him. He was regardless of us. This guy's gonna be something. So we might as well we might as well pull him in before he's too big to be pulled and tie ourselves to him. So when he goes up, we go up. And it worked wonderfully. Worked absolutely great. I believe. No, I doubt it. Just because the air is so fucked. And nowadays, that kind of thinking is, and honestly, fucking Edison is a great fucking segue into closing this, because Edison is one of the best examples of what happens when you weaponize passion, someone else's passion. And this is just too like, everybody know, most people know the story of Edison and Tesla, right? Like, before it was tied to some fuckwitted billionaire with a tiny dick, he was a fucking brilliant mind, a brilliant Serbian immigrant who came here and put down so many different foundations. Like, we're talking like wireless power. Like, they had to stop him from creating shit so that they could patent it, or that they would lose money. And that's why Edison did most of what he did with Tesla, was for Tesla to create, and for him to be like, that would hurt this business, I'm going to shelve it. Because he knew that Tesla was brilliant. But much like a lot of brilliant people, he wasn't like person savvy. He wouldn't know when he was being taken advantage of. And sure enough, Edison was one of the richest people of his time, and Tesla died penniless, married to a pigeon. Yeah, he went fucking insane. Like, absolutely buck nutty. But brilliant. Like, passion and insanity do often ride the same roller coaster of life. So let's not forget that. I guess, so I'm trying not to keep these too long, and I want to leave on a note that I feel myself passionate about. And that is that you have to follow the thing that you're passionate about. Nowadays, it's easier than ever, and I see a lot of people doing it, and I'm glad. But the problem is, a lot of people think they're passionate about this thing because they see it as a way to financial gain, as a way of status, as a way towards something that benefits them more outside of the thing itself. Like, people don't just create to create. They create for an audience. And if the audience isn't there, they don't want to create. And I think that's what separates a person from their passion. When they can't when they can't do the thing without the audience, without the feedback. Like me, I'll speak from like myself. I can't write. I've tried. I can't seem to write without someone writing with me, without the feedback, without the back and forth of like the role play. And it kicks my ass. It makes me feel like shit, but it doesn't make me like writing any less. It doesn't diminish it because I don't stop doing it because it doesn't net me anything. I keep doing it simply because it's something that I love. And that is the essence of passion. It's something that you keep doing because you love it, regardless of what it does. And I have, like I said, for my writing, I have hit that a lot. Like, people just really don't know how much I do it, and it's actually hard to talk about. But I don't want my kids to hide the things they're passionate about because they watched me do it. I don't want the things they learn from watching me, because that's what they're going to learn most from. Like, is that what I'm passionate about matters less than what people think about what I'm passionate about. And that should not come into play at all. If you do what you're passionate about, you should just be able to do what you're passionate about. And everyone else be damned. Like, I don't know how else to put it. And I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I do got to get a badger. I do got to find a Maurice, I guess. But I think passion needs to be encouraged more and understood better, because it's not just a means to an end. It is the end itself. The thing that you're passionate about is probably if the thing you're doing solely for money, the thing that you're passionate about is money. And that's, I don't know what to tell you about that. That's your life. That's gonna determine, but that'll mean that you're never happy because there's always more money to have. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess there'll always be more writing to do too, but I just feel like money's the fucking worst thing to be passionate about. But I understand it. Now I'm just rambling because I don't know how to end. I don't have an outro super planned up. So, yeah, I guess this is going to be the end of it. This is Captain Valen reminding everyone that life happens in every direction. So let's follow that passion and let's do some things we're proud of. All right. I love y'all. Let's